village, and I think that's where the whole crux of the situation is, and that's how I've been able to deal with it in the past, because I have had that issue before. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, next question, gentlemen. Actually, this is a question for Mr. Powell, but I again remind you all you're free to answer or comment. Are you aware, and it is Mr. Powell's turn to start, are you aware that the Haynesville Village Board and the Grace Lake Library Board both meet on the second Tuesday of every month? If you win both positions, which meeting would you skip? So, Tim, if you'd start, please.
This is an issue that has come up and has been brought to my attention. Whether or not I would have to miss one meeting for the Haynesville Village Board or one meeting for the Library Board, this is something that I would have to contend with. But as far as the middle of the month, I would always be present for that meeting.
Thank you, Tim. Gary, please. Anything you'd like to say?
No, I have no comment on that.
Thank you, Gary. And Kevin, please. Anything?
I can't comment on that because I am not running for any other boards beside this one, so I can't really comment on how I would manage my time accordingly.
And thank you, Kevin. And Walter, please.
No comment.
Thank you, Walter. Next question, gentlemen. Do you agree or disagree on not having the Grays Lake Police at meetings every month? Shouldn't the residents of the village know what is going on? Start with Mr. Walkington, please.
I think it would be nice to have a representative here at the board meetings every month. I know that for the first 6 months that the mayor was in contact of the Grays Lake Police Department, you know, on a regular basis. We do have information that, you know, through her and through the Grays Lake Police Department, so the board is informed of you know, of what's going on. But I would like to see an officer present at our board meetings, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Walkington. Mr. Crease, please.
Yes, I believe we should, to find out what is going on within the community. One of the comments that I made, or one of the statements I should say I made on one of the questionnaires was that I would also like to see like a workshop, community workshop, once a year or whatever, to find out what is going around in the surrounding communities with other police departments to come in, tell us, you know, whether there's gang activities going on or what's happening. Inform the residents of what's happening through all these communities and not just ours, because our surrounding communities are also could work its way into our communities.
Thank you, Walter. Mr. Powell, please.
Well, I think Mr. Barrett should really discuss this issue because he's chairman of the Public Safety Committee, and it's his responsibility to monitor the police activity. So he would probably be the best one to discuss this issue. But as far as having the police present, sure, they're administering our contract, so the Grays Lake Police should be either in contact with the mayor, Mr. Barrett here, or whoever's in charge of the Public Safety Commission to bring them up to speed as far as what Walter has indicated. What is going on with the village? What's going on involving surrounding communities, gang activity, whatever. Somebody should be alerted to what the status of crime is throughout our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. And Mr. Barrett, please.
Yes, I would love to see management from the Grays Lake PD to our board's meetings at least once a month, at least during our business portion of the meeting, not so much the committee as a whole. And that way, when we're provided with our statistics, that if the board would like to ask questions about it, that we would be able to do that instead of having to set up an individual appointment or to call somebody and ask them about it. We can ask for answers right there, or if they can't give us answers, that we can, you know, at least set a follow-up tickler file to do that. I think it would make them feel a little bit more involved, or make them have a little bit more of an ownership of the contract with the community and the responsibilities to the village residents here in Haynesville.
Thank you, Kevin. Next question, gentlemen. The pavement around sewers is getting holes and deep dips, especially in Misty Hills Farm. What happened last time they were repaired, will they be repaired again? Mr. Powell, please.
This would be an issue that would have to be discussed by Mr. Gately, who is in charge of the Public Works Department. As far as repairs, certainly, the village would address any issue that's alerted to us by any resident, that if there's an issue concerning safety, if there's an issue that is something that needs to be addressed, certainly the village will repair any particular area. As far as doing a total assessment of the Misty Hill development, yes, again, that would be something that the Mayor Soto and Mr. Haley would really have to scrutinize for, as far as the expenditure of funds to repair that, but the village would address those issues.
Thank you, Timothy. Mr. Walkington, please.
Well, major breakdowns are repaired right away. Right now, I can tell you that Public Works is doing a study with our engineers on a 5-year plan to take care of all the streets in the village, not just Misty Hill. So basically, any repairs that are needed immediately, we take care of right away. But we are doing a study right now. We are doing a 5-year plan on what streets need it the most and where we'll go from there.
Thank you, Gary. Mr. Barrett, please.
That's an issue that has to be addressed by Public Works. And as Mr. Walkington had said, we are in the process of doing a 5-year plan. And in the process of that 5-year plan, we're also coming up with funding with it through the motor fuel fund tax, which is the taxes that are paid on gasoline and fuel that is sold within the community. So that is basically money that is not coming out of the village coffers, but it is a separate tax fund, I believe, is how you stated. That money is set aside exclusively for street repairs, snow removal, and those kind of things to maintain our streets, and that's what the motor fuel fund tax is for. So that's how we're going to possibly fund this if there is an issue on it.
Thank you, Kevin. And Mr. Priest, please.
Well, I believe definitely the repairs need to be made as quickly as possible. But we also should find the source. Why does this continue to happen, okay, in our village? Is there a reason? And then talk to the engineers, talk to Public Works on which ones they are. Are we doing a rewording? Make sure that we are doing it correctly the first time, and make sure that it is the best possible work that could be done on that issue.
Okay, thank you, Walter. We're almost done. Does anyone have any question they're still holding on to? Okay, next question, gentlemen. Do you think we spend too much money on beautification in the village? Mr. Barrett, please.
Well, right now, I think we've spent a lot of money on taking care of the thorn, buckthorn that we had in Cranberry Lake. We've spent a lot of time and effort on fixing the path, the walking path around Cranberry Lake. I think right now we would be better off to take that money and earmark it and save it for infrastructure and maintenance within the community. Only because with the economic times that we're in right now, money isn't falling out of trees, and I mean, Cranberry Lake is going to be there regardless, our wetlands are going to be there regardless. Yes, we have to pay attention to them, but to put more money into it right now, I would rather pay attention to streets and infrastructure, because we need roads, we need water, we need sanitary. Those are the most important things within the community right now.
Thank you, Kevin. Mr. Powell, please.
The beautification of Haynesville is important, because if this village has to roll up its sleeves and get out and do whatever it needs to assist in the beautification of this village, I think it's important. I know Trustee Duberstein has done a lot with her committee as far as make sure that this village looks good. And I think that's important with any community, how we are represented to individuals who want to relocate to our town, businesses that want to come into our community. So maybe there might be an aspect where we have to cut back a little bit as far as financing. But this aspect as far as the beautification of Haynesville should continue.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. Mr. Priest, please.
I believe that Haynesville should be kept presentable. Yes, I believe that it should the entrances and to the subdivisions should be kept clean and orderly, and have basically the beautification of the flowers and the trees and the bushes, wherever it needs to be. But make sure that when we're buying these things, that they will sustain to the next year. Don't keep on buying over and over and saying, well, this didn't work and that didn't work. But also, as far as going into Cranberry Lake and that taking care of the growth there, I would probably say that should be probably taken back a little bit. And for the fact of, like you said, money should be used then for the infrastructure and for what other projects we have.
Thank you, Walter. And Gary, please.
Well, I think we have to pick and choose what beautification projects probably that we get ourselves involved with. Part of the Cranberry Lake restoration is still in a 5-year contract that we are obligated to finish. I don't think it's money that we wasted. I would do it again. I think, like I say, we have to pick and choose. I think we have, that the village should be presentable, kept clean, and it should look nice. All the entrances should be taken care of. But like I say, that too, you have to have plants that are going to be sustainable in the environment that they're going to be in. So I think it is important. But like I say, we're going to have to pick and choose the projects, and I think the committee's done very well at that. So.
Thank you, Mr. Waddington. Next question, gentlemen. What mistakes have been made, I assume made in running the village, and what changes should be made in running the village? And let's see, Mr. Kreese, please.
Could you read that question again?
Yes. What mistakes have been made in running the village, in your opinion? And what changes should be made in running the village, in your opinion? A very simple question.
Simple answer.
The simple answer is, from what I've been, since I've been attending the meetings, the board meetings, I believe that the village is being run the best that it could be under these times. They have looked at it, they have balanced the budget, okay? They are trying to improve the infrastructure. They are trying to come up with a comprehensive plan that looks into the future. So right now, I believe that they are managing it to some degree. Yes, that it's a good thing to keep it growing. That's what we need to do, and that's what the board has to come together to work together for. So,
Thank you, Walter. Mr. Barrett, please.
Boy, that's a tough one, because that's, that directly reflects upon the report card of, 2 administrations I've served under between, Mayor Mueller and Mayor Soto. I think one of the glaring things that popped out at us is when we had a problem with the wall house over at Cranberry Lake, where we instituted a corrective action by changing engineering firms after there was some errors made during the construction, where we ended up having to dig up the old well and move the well house. And as everybody well knows, the mayor and I did disagree on the sourcing of policing services for our community. Do I call it a mistake? No, I'm not going to call it a mistake. I'm going to call it a disagreement between the mayor and myself. However, we have mended our fences, and we are both working together to make what resources we have available for the community with the Grays Lake Police Department to continue to make sure that the needs of the residents are being served.
Thank you, Kevin. Mr. Waddington, please.
Well, I'm pretty sure over the years I've made my share of mistakes, but I think basically we're not a board of engineers and lawyers, and we took the advice as what we thought was in the best interest of the village. We probably could have written some different developmental agreements, made sure that all the T's were crossed and I's dotted and everything. But I think we've come a long way. We are now under one engineering firm. I think that is a big step forward. That we had some, engineering advice that didn't turn out. I think we needed to